Hey there, and we are back for our second sketch. This time it's an Alexander McQueen from the Fall-Winter collection of 2023, number 2022, and I put it in black and white and in color. I'm going to start with the black and white just to get the structure going and everything. We know that we're going to go ahead and do the head and neck and the shoulders here. We also see that the weight-bearing leg is there on the on my right hand side again, and we do see her boot, which comes up to the knee, and we do see a good deal of her leg, which comes in just a little bit under the crotch. And so we've also got her shoulders. They're going to be slightly to the left, and this is going up just a little bit, and I will and right now we can just go ahead and give her shoulders and her arms. But I wanted to emphasize this one because this is going to be with a different kind of ruffle. So you see a different kind of structure here, and I'm going to go ahead and draw that structure. We see that her arm over here is showing, so this garment ends right here, and it goes down and kind of comes in front of this arm. And then we see the arm on the side. I'm just going to draw that quick runway hand. And then that other runway hand is coming down as well. And that's going to be a little bit higher. And she's actually toting a little bag. So I'm going to do something there. And then I'm going to pay attention to the shape of the fabric. We see that there's some coming out over her arm again. This is kind of complicated, but when we really think about the inner and outer shape, we won't worry about it, because we're going to see right here that this shape of the outside comes down, hits the arm, comes down past the arm, comes down past this bag, and actually comes into a little stringy thing right there, and goes up again like this. Her back leg pretty much disappears about there, although we do see her knees on both of them. This one's coming down lower. And so past that bag, we start to see it come up a little bit. There's a little bit of a ruffle there. Just going to go for the basic shape of the garment, though. We're not going to worry about the interior now. It's coming out like this, and then it's coming back down right about here with that kind of odd, clunky boots. So that's the inside on this side, and then it actually comes in at the waist quite nicely, and so you can define that. And then there must be some kind of bustier right there, and then you see that. And so right now I'm going to go ahead and remove my template, and now I'm going to look at the interior structure of this. Now I have talked about ruffles and flows, so we're just going to go ahead and get these ruffles. One of them's coming across here, another one is coming over here and flipping back, and then we've got that thing at the arm. Don't worry too much if you're not getting it completely. That ruffle comes in across that waistline there, and then we see right here that this is actually coming straight there. So then we can bring this down a little bit, and then we get another ruffle right there. I know it's going to look kind of complicated, but just try your best here. All right, kind of getting that going for us. Right over here, actually, I notice here that it's actually coming in. So I'm going to come in at the waist, so that actually gives us a tell right there, because she's got a bustier there. Now, for this other stuff that's going on, we'll go ahead and there's obviously like two little layers there, and then we've got something in back and over here. So there we've got our basic garment drawn, and I'm going to pause the video until I can go ahead and do this in pen, so you can see it better, and so I can get it so nothing smears. All right, so for this one, these are the tools I'm going to use first. These are the markers. I've got an R37 Carmine, an E37 Sepia, and a C7. All of these are Copic markers, if you can afford them. I'm sure that there are comparable colors here. I'm just going to throw down some skin tone and my basic colors, and I'll be right back. Now you can see how I have laid down my basic color. You can see that here that like with a leather boot like this, I've left that that shiny part white. I'll get that. I can actually just leave that white on the page. I've actually added a little bit of gray up top. I'm gonna give her a bit of lip color, and I'm gonna need to find something to make this darker, but I will definitely come back and let you know what I've decided on that. Probably a lot more colored pencils. You can see that these ruffles are very structured and they're kind of stiff. It's probably taffeta or some other stiff fabric. So I'm going to come back and get darker here, perhaps with actually black going on. So let me get back to you in just a moment. Okay, so here I am back, and I've decided on the following colored pencils. Getting rid of my pencil here. I've decided on the Tuscan Red. I don't know if you guys have used that before. It's darker and a little more earthier than Carmine. Also going to go with the black colored pencil for my leather, my hair, those really deep dark folds. Some dark brown to emphasize some of the skin tone, and I'm going to see if I can't bring out a little bit of the highlights on these ruffles with some rose and white pencil. So I'm going to go at it right now. First, I'm going to go at it with some of these darker ones. This this fabric, it's kind of, I mean, this design is you just have doubled things over. So wherever they're doubled over, you can put some dark value here. So I'm going to be just doing that here and there to the sides, over here where we know that there's dark value, things are being covered up. There's definitely some dark stuff around here. We've got dark stuff at the bodice, and we've got this double layer coming on top of everything. So we want to differentiate these double layers by adding some darker values here, just to give this thing a little bit of structure. Okay, and so over here, I'm going to go ahead and fill this entire area in with the Tuscan Red, all of these very dark things that are coming back behind the legs, and then I'm just going to come on up and do some more of the folds, and some places where the folds are coming in on top of each other, and over in places where the hand is on top of things, and over here. So we've got some of that going on here. I'm also going to highlight some of these things with a pink. Now the pink isn't showing up really well, so I'm just going to throw down a little bit of this rose, and then I'm going to see if I can't bring it out a little bit more with some white. And it does look like I'm able to do that, because this is definitely catching the light and making this seem much lighter in areas. So catching that kind of taffeta material, and like I said, I am just going to be highlighting with white and not really blending in. You can blend in if you want. I mean, back here I might blend in some of this darker stuff, and you know, kind of, but these are crisp lines, so I don't want to blend in too much. So I also want to kind of emphasize some of these really dark spots with a little bit of black, and I'm not going to really blend that in either, but I am going to add a little bit of cross hatching, add a little bit of structure here going on over where these are definitely some darker areas here, especially towards the body. Okay, so I can do that, and then I'm going to use my black pencil for other things. I'm going to go ahead and use this black for my boots, and I've got a little bit of a strange shape here for the boots. I'm going to leave that the way it is. I'm also going to emphasize a few things here. Going to go ahead and I've got some little decorations here. I've got this bag. I'm going to leave parts of that white because it's leather, and the runway is going to show a lot of that. So I'm going to stop right there for a second and see if I need to add anything else. Actually, I am going to add some darker value for the skin tone, just to make sure that we know that she's very dark skinned, which is great, but there's a lot of light coming down here at the runway. But I just wanted to kind of emphasize some of this stuff here. Now, I might do a little bit of blending, and but I'm not going to do any blending where I put the white in, just because, you know, like I said before, you do not want to be blending like the frosting on a cake. And you do need to worry about whether or not your colorless blender is going to smear stuff. So over here, I'm wondering if I have a gold pen. If you do have gold or silver paint marker, this would be a nice place to put it in. Let me see if I can find it. I'll be right back. So I'm just kind of fudging here. I'm going to do yellow for some of this gold detailing here, and I'm going to cover it up a little bit with the goldenrod because gold really isn't that yellow. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my white and kind of emphasize things. I'm going to blend in some of those blacks and grays, but I'm going to leave that white highlight there. Same thing with the hair, and so there we've got it. And so that's number 2.